Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to Bench Talk. This is the show where we talk about all things football. Remember to like and subscribe. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. With me, as always, is my co-host, Aman Talad. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm very good, man. Very good. It was a good weekend. Yeah. I would like to start with the Merseyside derby. I know that was a big game. It's the derby, obviously, for you. What did you think?
I thought it was a game that started promising for Liverpool, but then eventually became more about the fighting than the football, which is normally what happens when we go away to Goodison Park. We started the game well, we were controlling the game, I was feeling confident, and then those first few tackles fly in, and then we give into the fight, which is what Everton want us to do, because they know, footballing-wise, if we go head-to-head, there's only one winner there, which would be Liverpool, so they have to make it about a fight, and then it's up to Liverpool whether they give into that or not, and more than not, they do give into it, and it's quite frustrating. They didn't target Nunes as much as I thought that they would, actually, after his red card. So that was interesting, but other than that, not much to talk about. Maybe the Pickford saves.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
If it wasn't for Pickford, I think they definitely would have lost that game. Alisson also had to have his moments, but Pickford definitely had to make at least 6 to 8 great saves. The Nunes one especially, it was a great volley, and he did so well to just get his fingertips to it.
The Salah one.
The Salah one as well, right at the end of the game. But I know you want to talk about the Van Dijk incident.
Yeah, I mean, before we get there, Cody's scoring was very exciting for me. I thought being an ex-Wolves player, 7 years captain, and being from Liverpool and playing for Everton, I thought that was just like such a proud moment for him. But for it getting taken away was really sucky. But I think deep inside he's still, probably feels that it was a really good moment for him. It's a pity that it got taken away.
Yeah, with VAR
rightly so,
around,
though. Yeah. Rightly so, he was definitely offside.
Yeah.
Sure.
But with VAR around, you never know.
Yeah,
when to celebrate, when not to celebrate. As a player and as a fan, just don't know when to celebrate.
Exactly. The Van Dijk red card, the Van Dijk yellow card, I really thought it was a red card, just because of how dangerous a tackle like that can be for a player that receives that, high studs. Yes, I know it wasn't like up to his knee down, but it was like mid-shin and it got pulled down. I thought the way that the VAR looked at it was in an angle that made it look like it was just on his boot. It didn't look, I don't know, like there's some instances where VAR show a camera angle that doesn't do the challenge justice in a way. And I just, it's definitely a 50-50. I can definitely see why people think it's yellow, given how other challenges have been going lately in the Premier League without any cards given and stuff, and then how I can see why people see it's a red. And I think it was personally a red card, just because that is an ankle breaking tackle. Just because if you put your foot flat, put all the weight on it, and the guy comes in and goes into that very, between your leg and your ankle, or your leg and your foot, it's so easy for your whole, for all the weight to shift over onto your ankle and just snap it, So, and I don't think that challenges should be determined on the result thereof. So like if that was if Onana's ankle broke, I think Van Dijk would have been sent off. So that's just why I think it was a red card. But
well, I don't think it was a red card. I think that in slow motion it looks a lot worse than it is. I think if the guy's leg was just there and Van Dijk randomly comes in and then just puts his boot there, then for sure. But they did go together and he just put his leg down first and then Van Dijk came in with his foot. So there's no malice in the...
Absolutely, no, there's no malice,
But
maybe that's
I've seen Elliot get his ankle broken, no red card. I've seen Van Dijk with Pickford jump in like this and go scissor on Alisson and giving him an ACL injuries out for the whole season, not a red card. And that was with VAR around. So
there was that.
We've seen Cucurella get his hair pulled to the floor, not a red card.
Not even a foul.
What is a red card anymore? True. I don't know.
There was that one Son tackle someone, I can't remember who it was, a couple of seasons ago, and there wasn't even a foul. And then when they saw that the guy's leg was broken or something, he got sent off. So those things do happen as
Which
well.
just shows though that it's inconsistency.
It is inconsistency. I mean, in on the other side of the coin is there was a challenge on Neto in the Wolves game against in Newcastle.
Yeah.
I can't remember who tackled him, but very similar to the Van Dijk challenge. Also, it wasn't a red card. So there was consistency. Maybe that's a new... Maybe they're being a little bit more lenient, which is a bit scary because it's dangerous
They
tackles.
did say they want to let a lot more go this season, but I don't think that that's necessarily true because, when we talk about the United game, we will see something where they didn't let that go.
Yeah. Just to end off on Liverpool, there's definitely been a formational change in the way that the wingers play compared to the midfielders.
Yeah.
What's going? You've picked up on something there, and I'd like to know.
Well, definitely the wingers are more like wingers now, whereas in recent years they were more like it was almost like three strikers where they would make more out to inside runs, whereas now they are staying wide and getting chalk on their boots. I don't know if that's because of the inside runs that Trent and Robbo are making, and if they're taking the space away from the wingers, or if we are just completely changing our system based around Darwin Núñez, which is just so weird for me because he needs to adapt to us. I don't know why we are adapting to him. I mean, if you look at City, Haaland has had to come in there and play the City way. It's not like, okay, now we're going to base everything around Haaland. No, he must get used to us. So it's a frustrating one for me.
Yeah.
I don't really understand it, but it's still early doors.
It's only Núñez's second game, I think, for Liverpool because he got banned third game.
Yeah, Fulham, Crystal Palace, and this game. So it's his third league game. So look, I trust Klopp. He knows what he's doing. Yeah. Obviously, this is just me stressing out. But it is something that I've noticed, and it does make me a little bit worried.
I think moving on to a game that has had so many eyes on it with so much controversy is the Chelsea and West Ham, the London derby.
Oof.
I mean, what Chelsea are getting results. I don't know who they're paying or what's happening, but they're not playing well, particularly well.
Yeah.
And getting results, but it seems that they're getting help from somewhere. I don't know.
I suppose it's similar to Liverpool in the sense that they just doesn't seem like they've really gotten their season going. Like something just feels off. Maybe the signing of Aubameyang will help that because that is what they're missing is a striker. But I do not understand how was that not a goal for West Ham? I do not understand if Jared Bowen decided to fall at that moment, then it goes the other way. Yeah. Like Mendy 100% knew in that moment, I've stuffed up. Yeah. I need to do something now because he's been terrible this season. Let's be real.
Something's not like either.
He knew I stuffed up. I need to do something now. What's the first thing I can do? Okay, I'm going to fake an injury. Fakes the injury and he gets away with it. And I don't understand that. Even the Premier League has come out now recently and said, that it was a mistake. That in the Newcastle one. So
it doesn't help anyone that they do that.
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. It's too late now. So, but what I will say is, and I don't think anyone's really talking about this, but I don't think Antonio should have been on the field. He was on a yellow card, and then he puts Thiago Silva in a headlock and rips him to the floor, and he did not get a second yellow card for that. And then he goes and scores the equalizer. So maybe there's a little bit of justice involved in that. Yeah. But that's again though, we've spoken about Antonio before. He seems to be getting a lot more angry during games.
I know he's very proud of his physicality, and I think he noticed that the Premier League is letting players get away with a bit more physical tackles. So maybe it's just he's trying a bit more. To think he's going to get away with it. Fair play, he did get away with one. That was definitely a yellow card. Yeah, absolutely, that was a yellow card. But I mean, that aside, just that call was ridiculous. Like that is the kind of stuff that managers are going to tell their players. If something happens in the box, just roll around and cry and hope you get the decision. Yeah. Because and we've been trying so hard to just, not that we can do anything about it, but we've been speaking about the Premier League need to do things to get rolling around on the floor, diving, all that stuff needs to stop. It's a contact sport. Like, that was, man, I'm telling you now, Mendy's sitting in the dressing room laughing because that is...
Yeah, he knows he's definitely gotten away with one, for sure.
So West Ham definitely got robbed. Fair play. The point was Antonio. That's probably justice, all in the bigger picture of things. But jeez, man, that was just referee-wise horrendous.
But you know what's funny is that the ref had he was standing in the perfect position to see all of that unfold. And then when he went to the screen, he saw the same angle of where he was standing at, like, which just shows again, like, he had the perfect. So, which means that's not a clear and obvious error. That's not worth turning around. But fair play to Chelsea. A positive for them is Chilwell being back, and that was a really good goal.
Yeah, it was a good goal.
Like, to take a first touch with your head like that. I don't know if he like fully meant it, but to do that spin and then put it underneath the goalkeeper's legs like that, that was Fabianski. That was really, really good.
Yeah. So very, very hard done by West Ham. But yeah, Chelsea are getting results. Not playing well and getting results. I guess that's what's important, you know. We'll get to more VAR calls a bit later, but I'm definitely not done talking about VAR this weekend. Moving on to City and Villa. Jeez, man, that was one of the three very big surprising results of this weekend was definitely City and Villa.
Yeah, I was quite impressed with Villa actually.
Yeah, like from where? Like they haven't looked like they've been good in any of the first 5 games.
Yeah.
And then they just like pull out a game that they should have won. To be honest, they should have won that game.
Another VAR.
But I mean, before we get to them scoring the disallowed goal, like to be in a game with City for 70, 80 minutes is alone. That's just pure class. Like that was really well done.
What impressed me with Villa is that when they went 1-0 down, they didn't change their plan. They completely stuck to the plan. They still decided, though, we're not going to get desperate and overexert ourselves and try go full out attack now and come back into the game. No, they still sat back and chose their moments to counter, and it worked. And they, like you said, they possibly should have won that game. I mean, a great goal from Coutinho. What a strike.
Goal. Man, and it just frustrates me that a piece of quality like that gets taken away by such stupidity from both linesmen and referee. Like, I actually didn't want to ask you this. I looked at I saw this live, but then I watched it back, and the linesman put his flag up for an offside, but the ball wasn't even passed to the player that was in the offside position. Where he wasn't in the offside, but it got passed to the player a player running in from the back. So the ball wasn't even going to an offside. Is that still? Can you still call an offside if the ball doesn't get passed to someone when they're in an offside position?
You can, as long as the ball going to the player, it doesn't matter if he meant to pass it to that player or not, if when the ball leaves his foot, if that person who eventually does receive the ball was in an offside position when it leaves his foot, it's still offside. But, I mean, that doesn't even matter because he was onside. So, and what frustrates me is that they have been told that if you see someone's offside and it's not like a goal moment that's about to happen, then sure, then you can blow the whistle. But you could see, like, Coutinho got the ball and he was immediately trying to cut inside. Like, something was going to happen. So why he blew his whistle?
It's beyond me. And I've seen a couple of podcasts and stuff of people saying, what's the Man City's keeper? Edison would have saved it.
Oh, you could see he tried to save it. You could see he tried to save it.
It looked like he just like put his hand up because he knew it, but that ball hit the post and went in.
Both posts.
No one is going to tell me that even if he went full flight trying to say that, he wouldn't have said that. No. So that was I don't accept it. I agree. That was definitely going in regardless of what. Yeah. So, slap, man. It's a little bit frustrating, you know, like City just got away with it again.
Look, a draw is still good. Haaland scoring again.
Jeez.
I mean, he like hung up in the air waiting for that ball. It looked like he was in the air for so long.
Do you think De Bruyne meant that cross? I don't think he was even he wasn't even facing the post. He was like facing the touchline basically and crossed that.
You know, if it was anybody else, I would say
no.
But De Bruyne can convince me that he meant that.
Jeez,
I don't think that he like when he hit that ball, he's like, I'm gonna find Haaland now. I think he just
whipped
thought,
it in.
I'm gonna whip this into a dangerous area, and I know, like with Haaland in the team, someone's gonna be there. So yeah, he meant it but didn't mean it in the same.
Haaland jumped so high, his foot was basically where his head. He could have just headed it in. I don't know.
100%.
He just wants to score.
Yeah, but what a beast there.
What a beast. No, I think honestly, there's a lot of talk about him, becoming one of the greats and breaking Premier League records, and he's definitely on his way there for sure. But I'm very excited to see him. We're recording this on a Tuesday, but he's playing in the Champions League, and I'm so excited to see how that's going to work out.
I think he's going to rip it up there. I really do.
Yeah, let's see. We can move on to the last game. I think Manchester United against Arsenal.
Good game, really good game.
Yeah, it was actually surprising. I was very surprised with the quality of the game.
I was so upset by the decision, not necessarily just because of the decision, but because I want to know with these new tactics under Ten Hag how they would have responded being a goal down. Because these new tactics are all based around them scoring that first goal.
Yes.
They haven't had to respond yet. Since Brentford, they've always been the first team to score. So I was like, finally going to see, like, how did they respond? But yeah, we didn't get to see that. I don't know.
Do you think it was a foul?
I think it's one of those where you base your decision off whatever side you're on. I think it's one of those. Okay. If it's given against you, I think you're upset. But when it's given for you, I think you're like, it's definitely a foul. But I've seen a lot worse. I don't know if you saw Leicester's first goal this weekend. I mean, similar sort of thing where Tielemans totally brushes off somebody.
Oh, yes.
Similar sort of thing. And that wasn't even like considered. Wasn't even a thought to go look back. I think the difference though is that in this game, Eriksen immediately was like, hey, like what the hell? And in the other game, when Tielemans did that to the player just got up and carried on. It's
because it didn't lead to a goal. You see, that's my problem. Like, the Premier League is being adamant that they want to let more tackles go, and it's a little bit more it's a lot more physical. But as soon as one of those tackles that they let go leads to a goal, the tackle gets reviewed and then it's a foul. They're letting a lot of challenges go when it's not a goal to keep the game flowing. Fair play, but as soon as it leads to a goal, they go back to it. Yeah. So now there's this tackle, you can get away with the tackle, but as long as it doesn't lead to a goal, you're fine. What's that? What is that? That doesn't make sense.
What did you think though? Did you think it was soft or?
Yeah, I thought it was a foul. I thought it was a foul last season for sure, and I think it's a foul. But this season, based off how all the tackles have been going, based off what the referees have been doing, and definitely with how many tackles they are letting go, definitely wasn't a foul.
Yeah.
If you keep that consistency, sorry, that's all. So there's not. It's just.
Would have been a good goal though.
Oh yeah,
it was good.
I think it would have changed. It would have been a good game. I think potentially Arsenal would have won that game 3-0 if that goal went in. Because I don't think, like you said, they haven't been behind yet. So
yeah, but yeah, up the other end, Anthony goes and scores his first goal for the club on his debut. What did you make of Anthony? I was laughing because of what he did just before the goal.
That's literally what I was thinking.
Honestly, in my head, I was like, is he trying to kickstart a bike or? That's what it looked like, and he's doing that thing with his leg.
But I don't know. I don't know if it's just because he's playing for Manchester United or stuff, but he had some terrible crosses and touches before he scored the goal. It was actually really bad.
If he didn't score that goal, that moment with him doing that with his leg and stuff would have really come back to bite him. But fair play.
What was he saying doing that? He was saying, I'm 85 million worth. It's in his head. The money's in his head, and I'm not rating him. I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, I don't know.
He reminds me of a very young Cristiano Ronaldo, because that's the kind of stuff he did at United as a youngster on the wing, and he used to get moved. He used to really get tackled hardcore. So, and I can see. I think he's gonna get smashed by a couple of players this season.
I mean, unfortunately, he's silenced us all because he has scored the goal.
Yeah.
So fair play to him. It's a good start. Let's see if we can keep it up for sure.
Yeah, Rashford looks like he's back in form.
Yeah, he's doing
2 goals and an assist.
It was a good finish as well. Yeah, it was a good finish. So I think what ended up winning Manchester United that game is Ten Hag coming up with a plan, watching the game, and then Arteta being a bit naive and saying, you know what, we are playing a better football. 60 minutes of the game, they definitely played the entirety of the game that Arsenal was the better team. They played better football.
Yeah.
So they, he got a bit cocky and he pushed up his back line. Step up, let's win this game, And I get it because it was like level for quite a bit. It was 1-1 before. So I think they wanted to go and win the game. Arteta wanted to go and win the game instead of drawing. And Manchester United and Ten Hag was just smart in that, and he just both goals, both Manchester United's second and third goal were just dinks in behind.
Yeah, they did that, and that 1-1. I was quite surprised when Ten Hag brought on Fred already.
Yes.
But it worked for them. They dominated the midfield. From then on out. So it was actually quite clever. But look, I think I have an unpopular opinion, and that is that it's working now, but it's not Ten Hag's tactics. That's just not his identity. Yeah. That's not how he wants to play. And you're not going to want to keep doing something that you don't want to do forever. Yeah. So either it's not going to work out, or he's going to eventually change when he's more confident in the team, and then we'll see what happens. But right now and fair play to him, I can't blame him because it wasn't working. But right now he's just doing what he can do to get results now, no matter what.
I think that's definitely, he got called and said, "Look, we need to get results." So he's made a plan to get results, but you're so right, it's not his.
Yeah. When Tottenham and United play against each other.
Wow. The ball's just gonna be in the middle. So Manchester United coming up with winning ways. It's very impressive. Tottenham and Fulham, a game that's gone a little bit on the radar. I was actually really excited for this game because Fulham have been, they did super well against Arsenal.
Yeah.
Mitrovic. That's what I think. Mitrovic is just because they're losing, but Mitrovic is doing an incredible job. His goal
weird. He looks so, like when he's dribbling with the ball, he looks so like lanky and like off balance, but he still goes past someone and then he whips it in the top corner like that.
I think he had 2 chances that whole game and he took one of them. Yeah. Like he's a striker that just needs, he's like Kane. He just needs a small chance. He just needs a small little gap, like the sniff. He just needs to sniff a goal, and he'll get either score or come very close to scoring. He's becoming that kind of player.
But Fulham are just like, I don't know what they're lacking, but like they've been playing so well, but they're just not getting over the line. I don't know what more they need.
I think they'll get there. A lot of people put them to go back under, but I think that they are.
No, I'm sure they'll definitely stay.
Yeah. I'm actually backing them against. I can't remember who they're playing next. I can't remember that, but when we get to the fixtures, I'll talk a bit more about that. Son? We spoke about Salah having a bit of a struggling to get off the ground.
Yeah, no one's really talking about the fact that Son is not.
Yeah, I don't think he scored a goal yet.
He hasn't really done anything.
He's the nicest guy. I don't know him. I've just it's
maybe that's why people let him off the.
Yeah. But he came off the field. He got subbed, I think, in the midweek game, and he was furious. He was throwing his hand in the air, and you could see he was angry. And like people don't see Son like that. That's not. He's just. I think he's just frustrated that he's not scoring.
Yeah.
Now you have Richarlison coming in all cocky, getting assists and scoring goals that don't eventually count. But it looks a bit like what's happening is Son is going to be replaced. Eventually, Conte is going to say, "Well, look, Richarlison is giving me results. Son, you're not giving me results, so I'm going to switch you guys." And I think that's maybe what's freaking Son out.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, look, he started last season relatively slow as well.
Yeah.
And as the season progressed, he just started banging in goals left, right, and centre, and then that's how he started catching up to Salah. So maybe it is just that again. I'm not sure, but he does look a bit off the boil. He's not really. It's similar to Salah where they're not getting a lot of goals and assists, but they're also not like providing that much in the game as well. So it's not like you can say, oh, they're not scoring or getting assists, but in the game they're still a part of everything and part of the play and stuff. But it's not really.
It's a bit like Kulusevski came into the team, and him and Kane are in the relationship. And and now Son is like the third wheel, you know, because before Kulusevski, you had Kane feeding Son,
100%, and I think
Son scoring.
Because Kane's not dropping so deep anymore and
Yes.
turning and whipping those through balls, Son is
Kulusevski,
suffering quite a bit.
Kulusevski is doing that. Kane is on the end of all his
Yeah.
assists and stuff, and Son is just like, you know, I also want to be in a relationship. He's got no one, so he's all by himself. And it's a bit like the Salah and Nunez thing, I think, because like Salah used to, Trent used to be like the guy finding Salah. You know, Salah used to be, but now you have this new guy in the mix, and Salah's struggling to find where he can't run in the middle anymore because Nunez is occupying that space. So should he stay out? Should he come in? I think that's maybe what's happening with the wingers. They are like a bit, with the strikers coming in, they're not really sure. So could be, you know. But,
it's an interesting take on it.
Yeah. Man, I thought we were done with the VAR stuff, but Newcastle and Crystal Palace. I don't know if you've watched. I don't know if you watched this game.
I didn't see this. I'm going to need you to fill me in.
This decision from VAR, I hate speaking about referees and VAR and stuff over the teams because but this weekend especially, this was the worst one of all of the decisions. Yes, worse than Mendy getting a flick from a boot. It's worse than the linesman putting his flag up for no reason. This one cost Newcastle the game. So what happened basically is there was a corner, and Newcastle whipped it in. A Crystal Palace player pushed a Newcastle player into the Crystal Palace keeper, and the ball went into the back of the net. And then VAR said there's a foul that the Crystal Palace, the Newcastle player, Crystal Palace hit the keeper, and they didn't look at the Crystal Palace player pushing. Like it was a push into the keeper. So now, what does this teach us, managers? To now, when you go to your next game, there's so much pushing around in a box. All you need to do is take the opposition player, push him into one of your players, and you'll get the foul. That was the worst call I've seen in a very long time. It was horrendous. I don't understand how they didn't see the push. I mean, we are not referees. We are just people at home neutrals at home watching a game. How do they not see that? I don't understand. I don't understand. How could you be in that position and look at the monitor and not see that?
I don't know. I really don't
know. It blows my mind.
But what I don't understand about just corners in general is that why do you think that the only time in a game is at a corner where someone will foul somebody, and then instead of it being a penalty, it's, hey,
don't do that.
I saw that. Don't do that again. Retake the corner. Why do on a corner do people get a second chance?
Absolutely makes no sense. Yeah,
I don't understand that.
I 100% agree. I think a lot of time it's a 50-50 thing. They're like both pushing each other and fighting. Potentially that's maybe why the ref then you can't give it a foul either way, so he has to just
but I mean that's where VAR can be like, hey ref, this is who started it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense.
But it doesn't make sense. Yeah. So sorry, like that one, like I think just because of the way I watch the games, I watched the Newcastle and Crystal Palace VAR shamble the last, and just to just see that, I just could not believe it. I could not believe it. Yeah. But yeah, draw. I can't remember what I predicted for this game. I think it was a 0-0. It was probably like a 2-2 or something. But yeah, it was two teams that really balanced each other out pretty well. Newcastle still looking very good. So yeah, I think it was one of those games that just completely went under the radar just because of this whole VAR thing, and everyone's talking about that and not the actual game. But yeah, 0-0 at the end of the day. I want to talk about Brighton and Brentford, two teams that I said are going to get relegated.
Yes.
Did you watch any of those two games? Because
there's two players from each game that impressed McAllister and Tony. Wow. I mean, I feel so bad for McAllister. That was such a good goal.
Jeez, that was a good goal.
I don't understand. It's like those players didn't affect anything.
No.
It's not like those players were in the way of the...
I think he went to like a bicycle
like there's no... Like, dude, that keeper was not even... It doesn't matter if whoever was standing in his way, he wasn't saving that shot.
No ways, yeah.
Like, that was top bins as it gets. It was such a good goal.
It was a beautiful goal.
And, yeah, he would have scored a hat-trick, and it's such a shame because the free kick as well, really good. I feel for him there. But Brighton again, just playing such good football, looking so good.
They completely dominated that game. Like they were 5. They could have scored. Oh man, they could have scored many goals. Like there's always a Brighton player on the second ball. The way they push forward, the space around each player. I don't know what Potter is doing, but the way, like when you watch Brighton play, they can beat anyone.
Yeah.
Honestly, they can beat anyone. I think they're playing Arsenal in the Carabao Cup round 3 draw. Oh God, that's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's Arsenal and Brighton. I think right now playing to get like.
And I think they believe that they can beat anybody.
Yes,
they're playing like it. So
I mean, and it comes down like everyone's looking at Graham Potter and giving him credit because rightly so. Because you look at these big coaches, they have on these big teams like the Contes and the Klopps, and they get these players. And then they got to coach them, and they get these big money signings, and they got to make it work, and they make it work because it's very quality players, it's good coaches, big budgets. Then you get Potter. He's in the situation where you lose your best players, you lose your Basuma and your Maupe and your Cucurellas, and then you have to find replacements, and you got to coach that team to still produce the quality that they can produce, and to do that comes down to absolutely brilliant coaching.
100%.
He is. I think Potter, if he carries on with Brighton as it is, like he can really look. I think he'll be scouted to be one of the top team's managers for sure.
Yeah.
And I think maybe Leicester. I think maybe Leicester should look at that. But I know they're with Rodgers and there's a bit of issues there, but I don't know who. But jeez, man. I don't know why I say that, because why must Brighton lose such a good manager? They deserve him. He deserves him.
I don't think you'd want to go to Leicester at the moment, especially seeing that Rodgers hasn't been back.
It's just we spoke about Leicester losing their best players and have to make it work.
Yeah.
Potter's your guy.
Their recruitment is just so good.
Yeah, he's absolutely. Castella's scoring that goal. Yeah. I mean, it's absolutely. They are honestly amazing. Yeah.
And Tony.
And then Brentford. I don't know, like Brentford just like every time you look at them on the fixture list, whoever they're playing, and you're like, I don't know, if they're gonna produce, but they always produce. I mean, Tony is just
the penalty is so good. I think he might be the best penalty taker in the league. Honestly,
he has that little two steps.
And he places it so well. The second goal, the free kick, so good.
Jeez, that was a good one.
And then the third goal, just ultimate composure, like. Not looking nervous at all, didn't hit it early, took his time, and then dinks it, a ridiculous dink, and it was just...
If McAllister's goal stood, that would have been the best goal of the weekend, I think, but because it didn't stand, Tony's third goal, little chip from outside of the box.
Just class.
Like, that is confidence.
Any of these moments I always like to say, like, if that was Messi, or that was Ronaldo, the goal is everywhere.
Yeah.
But because it's Tony, people don't really talk about it. It's so good.
That is some of the most confident goal scoring I've seen in a long time. He is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
Brentford and Brighton, I don't want to play them. Just it looks like they can beat anyone. They've already beaten.
Even last season Brighton were causing Liverpool all sorts of problems, and I just.
However, Brighton, I saw a stat where Brighton's first 6 games from last season and their first 6 games from this season is exactly this. Not fixtures, but points wise, win wise, draw wise. The only thing that's different is they've scored 3 more goals than last season, but they won 4, drew 1, and lost 1. So it's a bit like
something does feel different though.
It does.
I wasn't thinking this way last season, so something is different.
But just that, like they had a good squad.
Yeah.
I mean, no one noticed it because it was in the beginning of the season, but because Tottenham and Chelsea bought all these big players from them.
Yeah.
But they are producing the same output with lesser players who's just going to get bought at the end of the next season for big money. Who knows where to? And they're probably just going to But I'm honestly thinking like top 8 for Brighton right now. I know I didn't breathe that, but they're playing that well. Leicester though. Are they a bit in shambles?
Yeah, I mean, we were saying to each other, we really thought we were going to come onto this podcast and be talking about Rodgers being sacked. I think he would like to be sacked. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a interesting. I don't know if you want to bring that up.
Yeah, there's. I mean, obviously it's not facts or anything, but it was on Sky Sports that I saw that if Leicester had to sack Rodgers, they actually have to pay him some money, and it's similar to the Frankie de Jong situation with Barcelona.
Yeah.
There's some fees that they owe him, and if Rodgers resigns, he actually has to pay Leicester some money. So I don't know if it's a contractual thing or what it is, but financially, for both parties, the best thing to do is just to stick together and grind out results.
And you can tell he's basically saying, like, sack me.
Yes.
With his interviews.
Exactly. And he doesn't... so I think that's maybe also... Because there's this financial stickiness between the two parties. He wants to leave, and, you know, they kind of want him to resign so that the money, you know, goes to the favor of each one. But no one's gonna budge, you know, no one's gonna pay that money. So they just got to stick it out. So maybe that's adding to what this whole problem is. You know?
Yeah.
So Leicester, look, they've lost Fofana now. They're lucky to keep Maddison. Tielemans they were very lucky to keep him. So they still got a good squad. You know, let them just hopefully find results. Yeah. That's basically what they have to do. Bottom of the league, you know,
rock bottom. Man.
Rock bottom, not one win yet. So they've won 7 games in 2022.
Jeez.
And we are in September now. That is a dreadful record.
That is crazy.
From a team that won the Premier League, you know, in 2015. But man, that sucks. The Wolves and Southampton game, there's not much to talk about. I'm very happy that Wolves got their first one. Very, very, very happy. It wasn't clean, it wasn't beautiful. Probably should have not won that game, to be fair. But I'm super happy we got our first one. But
just striker.
The big news
injured
is our striker. Did I say this to you? I swear I said this to you. Like, this is terrible. He's going to get injured. ACL. I mean, he was on the field for 40 minutes.
That's pretty much the season.
He's done. Yeah, no, he's going to be out for the season for sure.
Flip.
But he looks like a player that's going to get injured. He's so tall. Without the physical build, you come to the Premier League, and it wasn't a tackle that caused his injury. He just jumped and landed wrong on his knee.
But having said that, what do you make of the Costa news? Don't know if it's gonna. I know that you guys appealed. You couldn't get the work permit, and you guys are appealing it. So I don't know what the result of that is going to be. But regardless, what do you make of the Costa?
I think it'll happen, because I think how he's got like 13 points, and you need like 15 points. And normally, if you appeal, you get like an extra point, and then the 14 points is normally good enough.
Okay.
So I think it will. I potentially think it'll happen. But you know what? Like this is one of those cases where, as a Wolves fan, I completely respect the club, and I'm like, well done for trying. Like, you guys get put in the club got put in a very difficult situation. I wish they hired me before we signed Sasa Kalajic, because I would have been like, whoa, you know. But anyway, they didn't. But yeah, Wolves, they need a striker. The window is closed. Looked at free agents. Diego Costa is the best. The other guy that was an option was the Burnley striker that got released. I don't even know his name. No. So Diego Costa was the best option. But that is just stinks of disaster all over it.
Maybe he's older. I don't know what Diego Costa I'm looking at, though, because obviously I'm used to the one that I saw at Chelsea, but that was
that was 2017.
That was years ago. So I don't know what he's like now. He was okay when he went to Atletico Madrid, but I think isn't he playing back in Brazil?
He's released from Brazil. Yeah.
Okay, so
but it was a case of his kids weren't happy in Brazil.
Okay.
So it's what happens with foreign players. If you play in England, the family loves the England lifestyle, gets accustomed, and then you go back to Brazil where it's a little bit more third world and stuff, and they don't really
look. I mean, he's really good. I'm sure he won't have the same pace, but he's really good at holding up the ball. So if you can get like who's on the wings, Podence, maybe Traore, whoever you play on the wings, could be good for you guys. To make those. Yeah,
look, if he scores 5 goals, if he comes and he scores 5 goals, brilliant, happy. But think about it, if you Diego Costa right now.
Yeah.
You obviously watching all these stories. He's coming back, and there's all this pressure and this excitement for him to come back to the Premier League, and a lot of people are like, oh, but what's he going to bring? He's 33. No, you're Diego Costa. You don't have the quality and the pace and the skill and the technical ability to give the people what they want.
Yeah.
What do you have? Aggression and physicality. That's all you can bring, basically. That's what he's known for, Diego Costa. Okay, yes, brilliant. I'm going to bring that. I'm going to do my best to score goals and be better, but you can't take aggression and physicality out of me. That's what I'm known for. I'm going to bring that to the Premier League. All good and well. He was aggressive and physical in leagues without VAR. Now you bring VAR into play. Oh my word. This is like, you can just, it's going to be a laugh.
It's going to be interesting.
He's going to get red cards.
I can't wait to see it.
The ref is going to have like, he's probably going to just write Diego. There's going to be bets made about how many red cards he's going to get compared to shots on goal, or like yellow cards compared to shots on goal. It's going to be a disaster. And I'm seeing Wolves fans, they're all laughing. They're saying, yeah, it's going to be fun, you know, fair play. But I mean, we're not going to laugh when he gets red carded in the first couple of minutes of a game.
Yeah. Look, the only maybe a positive is that, you know, he's won leagues and stuff like that. So he brings a real, like, just to be in the dressing room. Like he'd bring like a real winning mentality. That is my biggest hope, that he exactly what you said now. In the dressing room, he gets the Wolves players to be a bit like more, you know, aggressive and strong and fierce, and to kind of lift them up. That is all I can ask for. If that can happen, you know, absolutely. Then it's worth it. Oh. We have the quality. Like, I think people are mistaking bringing Costa in the team is going to bring us goals. That's definitely not going to happen. Yeah. I think he's going to be able to do that. But what he can do is he can lift the players who can score the goals in the Wolves team to score 100%. The goals. And that is, you know, that's what we hope. That's what we're hoping for. Flip, and I would have loved if he came. It would have been so good to see him and Henderson coming together again in this Saturday's game. But obviously Henderson's injured and he probably won't play. If he comes, he probably won't play on the weekend. So, the last game to talk about was the Forest game, Nottingham Forest against Bournemouth. I mean, now that you look at it, what is that? They won their first game, Bournemouth. They drew against you guys, and they've won now. So that's not even like it's not a bad start to the season for, you know, the likes of Bournemouth.
It seems like sacking your manager sometimes just gets you points. I don't know how.
It definitely does. You always get that little bounce. Yeah. But I wonder if they're going to stick with this guy, if they're actually going to bring somebody in.
It sounds a bit like an Ollie kind of situation. Yeah. So, but Forest should have won the game, leading halftime 2-0. No one. Yeah. No one in a million years.
I think they must have been in there thinking,
done.
Like, job done. Bournemouth. No stress.
Fair play. Billing scored the opening goal for Bournemouth. Brilliant strike. It was very similar to Trent, not on the same side of the field, but that just like a boot and the ball. Just brilliant goal. And then Solanke scoring a brilliant little overhead kick and stuff. So fair play. Like, but the game should have ended 2-2. It was Forest who gave Bournemouth the third goal. I don't know.
It was a bad pass.
I don't know what the defender did, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking.
So he definitely lost the game for Forest there for sure. So brilliant goal from Bournemouth. Brilliant win for them. I still don't think it's exciting for me, because this is what you love about the Premier League. Yeah. You know, I don't think they're going to do well, but to just see all the teams just push and get
once
points
again,
and stuff.
I said it last week, but the Premier League is Premier Leaguing. Like,
exactly, it is.
Hello, say hello to Ollie.
Yeah, it's brilliant stuff. Hey, Ollie. So that brings us to the end of our our games over the weekend. It is Champions League. This is our first time on the Bench Talk show talking about the Champions League coming this week. So we just have a couple of the fixtures that we care about, and I'm just going to ask you, what are your thoughts on them? What is your prediction of them? Okay. And anything interesting matchups that you're excited for. So we have we're just going to focus on the Premier League teams in the Champions League. I'm happy with that. Sure. Hey? City against Sevilla, playing a bit later on tonight. Pretty interesting game, I think. Sevilla, man, I don't know if it's just in the Europa League that they're so tough, because they're a good side. They're very well tight knit. They're very
but they've lost Kunde, so
true. That is very true. They're very That's actually a very good point. He was a brilliant player.
That's what
they did lose a couple of big players this transfer window, actually. I think
so. I mean, I would go for Chiefs. Is it at the Etihad? Eh?
Yeah, I'm actually not sure.
If it's at the Etihad, I would honestly say 3-0.
I think But there's a chance that we might have not even seen the Real City yet.
Which is just
it's scary to
see,
think, but like I said, I really believe that this is the season Pep is putting his life into this Champions League campaign. He wants to win this Champions League campaign, and I think he's going to put everything into it. So don't expect Alvarez and this second-tier team. I really think he's going to go full force to win this Champions League. So yeah, it's going to be I think City are going to win for sure. Yeah.
For sure.
Not know anything. I think Haaland. Do you really think he can pull out the get the goals in the Champions League 100%. Like he's getting in the?
He was doing it for Dortmund, so I don't see why not.
That's going to be a good game. City against Dortmund.
Yeah,
that's going to be a good game. It's not this.
Seriously, it's like they plan these things.
That's what they do. We have Chelsea against Zagreb.
Yeah, away from home. I mean, of course, it should be a Chelsea win, but
something about this game.
Yeah, but maybe Aubameyang could make his debut. I'd probably go for a 2-0 Chelsea win.
Yeah.
I actually think Aubameyang is going to score. If he makes his debut, I think he will score.
Yeah. No, I think Chelsea will win it. Yeah. Nothing really too interesting about the game.
Yeah.
It's just Liverpool and Napoli. You guys seem to pull Napoli
I would
a lot.
Love to get hopefully at least a draw.
Yeah.
Really.
Napoli,
and that's not me being like a draw is a good result. It's not a bad result.
It's in Italy, so.
If it was at home, I'd be like, I hope we win this. But away from home, like let's get a draw.
Yeah.
I'd say 1-1.
Amazing. Yeah. Who do you think is going to score?
I think I'm gonna say Salah to get his season going.
I don't know why I also thought Salah. I don't know. I think Salah.
Maybe we're just used to it. Even though you've seen this, you just think of Salah in your head and you just think like, come on, he can do it.
Yeah, I've got this weird feeling it's gonna be like Salah. Why can't he score in the Premier League? But in the Champions League, he's got like 16 goals. I don't know. So maybe Champions League is Salah's season. That's where he's gonna be scoring his goals. But yeah, a draw would be a good result. I think it's going to be interesting to see where Liverpool is now and how they play against Napoli. Because normally in the Champions League, you guys are destroying it in the Premier League, doing so well, and then the Champions League games come, and then it's quite interesting to see how you guys keep up and stuff. But with you guys struggling a little bit, and I say that lightly because it's not you guys aren't playing bad, you're just not getting the results basically. Yeah. But to see that Liverpool team now playing in this Napoli there, it's going to be a very interesting game to watch. Yeah. And then finally we have Tottenham against Marseille. It's a pretty good game, yeah.
It's quite good to have Tottenham back in the Champions League. I do think Tottenham will win this, and I think it'll be, I'd say 3-1.
3-1?
Yeah. Tottenham have been conceding goals.
Yeah, they have. Oh, man, they just always score though.
Yeah, so that's why I say they'll concede 1, but they'll score 3.
Yeah, look, it's tough to... These games are a lot tougher to call for me than the Premier League games because we don't know much about the other teams. But I think there has to be one English team that loses. I don't think all of them.
You think it's going to be Tottenham?
I think Tottenham will lose. Yeah. I don't know. Like Marseille is a quality side. They play good football. They're comfortable in the Champions League. Tottenham's back after being out for a bit, so maybe the nerves get to the Tottenham players. The scene can get to them a bit. So maybe. Got to go something different, So I think Marseille will win that game, And then, finally, like we always do at the end of the show, we just go through the fixtures of the next weekend. It's a very exciting weekend for us here at Bench Talk. You versus me, I versus you. We'll get to that game now. But Fulham against Chelsea. First game.
Wow.
Early kickoff. Sun's right above their heads, super hot. Potentially than summer there.
Because it's at Fulham. You know what? I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 Fulham win.
Wow. That's what I remember I said. Fulham, I want to back them. I can't remember who they're going to play. They're playing Chelsea.
Yeah.
I'm backing Fulham.
I think Mitrovic is going to score again. I really do.
I agree with you, Brennan. I think
it's going to be so interesting though, to see like Thiago Silva and Koulibaly battle against Mitrovic because all physical players,
Yeah, probably a red, probably another red. Maybe Chelsea will go back to their reds. I think Fulham are going to win 1-0. I can't can't see them scoring a lot of goals for them, but a goal for sure. Chelsea have been getting... Oh, they've been scoring though, to be fair. Yeah, let's move on. 1-0. 1-0 Fulham. Bournemouth and Brighton. Oh, there couldn't be a better team for Brighton to play to keep their run going for sure.
Well, we say that.
I'm going to say that.
We say that. But no, I do think Brighton will win. I think Bournemouth might get a little bit humbled there, and I think it might be a 3-0 to Brighton.
3-0 to Brighton. Yeah, I agree. 3-0. Potentially 4-0. And I'm not saying... okay,
watch them pull a miracle.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that... My context in the 4-0 is not because of how bad Bournemouth is.
Yeah.
It's because of how good Brighton is.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's... Brighton are playing incredible football.
Yeah.
They love the possession of the ball. So that's Fulham's... Bournemouth's the perfect team to play.
Yeah.
Play your style, just go and score goals. So I think...
Bournemouth like above Liverpool right now?
I think it's level. Because they... No, I think Bournemouth... they've won 2 games. And they've drawn with Wolves. So that's 7.
So I think they are above us.
I think
we've lost one. And they've lost. I think we're
No,
level.
you
We're
level points. But you're above them because...
Yeah, I'm talking about Bournemouth. We level them.
Yeah, goal, you guys are above them on goal difference.
Yeah, thanks to them.
They're above Wolves. So let's just end this conversation right now. Leicester against Villa. Midlands.
Now, talking about like a perfect game, like this is a good game for Villa to really just...
Oh, wow. Coming off a draw.
Yeah, get their season like really going.
It's at the King Power though.
Yeah.
I think it might be very toxic for the Leicester players and for
I just
Rodgers.
don't see it going well. Like,
Yeah.
It's
I think Villa's going to put
Rodgers doesn't want to be there. I don't see it going well. I think Villa's going to win.
Yeah, I think Villa's going to... Because where Leicester is right now, it plays perfectly into the hands of Villa because at the King Power, it's going to be already... at the game over the weekend, the Leicester fans were just like not having it. They were staying, like all the players were off the pitch and the Leicester fans were still there, like tuning they were shouting at Rodgers and
they also score goals, but they just concede so many. So because they score goals, I'll say I think it'll be close. I'd say 2-1 to Villa.
2-1. Yeah, that's a good shot. 2-1. I think I agree with you. I was gonna say 2-0, but Leicester do score goals. Yeah. Ebianacha, I wish he came to Wolves actually. I really like him.
That would have been a good sign.
Liverpool against Wolves. We're having a braai to watch this game. Let me put out there. I can't see where Wolves' goals are going to come from. But I rate our defense. Our defense has been really good. Got best defense in the league. Yes, we haven't played any of the bigger teams yet besides Tottenham, but yeah, look. It's a good time to play Wolves now. It's a lot of times it's safe. We can also say it's a good time to play Liverpool because they're struggling. But when Liverpool don't get a result, the next game they get a result.
But look, you say like you don't know where the goals are going to come from, but it's not normally strikers that cause Liverpool problems. It's wingers.
Yeah,
you've got decent wingers.
We do. They just don't.
So when Robbo and Trent bomb forward,
yeah.
I'm sure you guys are gonna just play that counter, man. You have to.
It's gonna be an interesting game because our wingers are built for the counter.
Yeah.
And we haven't had a game where we could counter yet. Because even against Tottenham,
you know what? I can just see it. I can see the wingers making runs. I can see Neves turning and playing those long balls through. I think it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun game to watch. I don't think Wolves are gonna win. I'm hoping for a draw. I really am. I would take a draw. If you give me a draw right now, I'll bite your hand off. I will.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take a draw, but I don't think it's gonna be. I don't think I'm gonna get my way, unfortunately. Yeah.
I'd say. Makes it sound like Abba. Please excuse my dog. I would say this is a difficult one to call. I think this also could be a close, like 2-1, honestly.
Sure.
To Liverpool.
Okay.
I really think it's going to be a lot tighter than people might think.
Really?
I really do. I
think it's either a draw or it's going to be a smashing.
I think you might even score the first goal and we have to come back.
No, sure.
We've conceded the first goal so many times. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
I think it happened last season, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
So Even when we're at our best, you could score first. So I can certainly believe they should score the first goal now.
Well, I hope so. Let's see. Southampton and Brentford. Oh, it's got to be Brentford.
I would just love to. I really like Tony, man.
Yeah.
I really do. He's becoming one of my favorite players. So yeah, I'd love Brentford to win, and I'd love to see Tony get another goal.
I think Brentford are going to win that game 2-1.
I agree with you.
Yeah. City against Spurs. Oh, what a game.
This is going to be a good game.
This is going to be a very good game. Possession against counter. Best of possession against the best of counter. What a game.
Where is it?
It's at the Etihad.
Okay. So Tottenham won their last season with that last goal from Kane. I can see Kane scoring there again. Do you already have a scoreline in your head?
3-2.
To City? To Tottenham?
No, to City.
To City.
But it's going to be a typical Tottenham going to go 2 goals up. It's typical City win. Tottenham go 2 goals up. And then they're going to...
I'm going to say a 2-2 draw.
Wow. Oh, I think I heard a lot of people say that, actually. Yeah, it's a good call. That's a good shot.
I think Haaland and Kane will both score.
I really hope it's a draw, man. I don't know. I just like draws with other teams. But yeah. It's a good shot. Arsenal against Everton.
Arsenal against
the
Everton.
Emirates.
I think Everton are going to get a hiding.
Yes.
I really think so. I think after that loss for Arsenal...
Yeah.
I think Arsenal are going to be back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
And I think Jesus is going to be a big part of that. And I would say 3-0 to Arsenal.
3-0. You're stealing my scores here, man. West Ham are going to be furious.
Oh, yeah.
So they're coming against Newcastle. Oh, it's another good game. That's a very good game. At Bubbles.
But at the same time, Newcastle are going to be furious as well.
Yes.
Both
both.
decisions against them.
That's actually the game of Sunday.
I think I'm going to go for a Newcastle win.
Wow.
Is Saint Maximin still out?
I think so, yeah. I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know if he's back.
If he's... Yeah, it really depends on whether or not he's back or not. I'm going to have in my mind that he's back. If he's back, I think Newcastle are going to win. I think it's going to be a 2-1.
2-1. I'm thinking it's a 1-1. That sounds like a 1-1 game to me, I think. Yeah. 2 teams that are going to just cancel each other out again. Newcastle just seem to have that profile at the moment. They're just cancelling out teams and drawing. Excuse me. Crystal Palace against Manchester United.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. I really hope Crystal Palace score first. I just want to see how United react.
Yes.
Going a goal down. I really just want to see that. So, where is it? At Trafford?
Yeah. No.
At Selhurst Park. Okay. At Selhurst Park. What time is the game? Honestly, this will really make a difference to me.
It's 4:30 England time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, because those atmospheres, they change.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Crystal Palace win. Actually,
I'm thinking the exact same thing.
I don't even think United are gonna score. I think it's gonna be 2-0 to Crystal Palace.
Sure. Especially if Crystal Palace score first, I think they're going to win the game.
Yeah.
2-0, 3-0.
I really hope they score
But if Man United score, I think that they could potentially still win that game. 1-0, like they beat Leicester and Everton and stuff. Did they play Everton? No? Man United they beat Leicester 1-0, and then they beat another team, Southampton 1-0. Yes, not Leicester, thanks. And then last game on the Monday, Leeds against Nottingham Forest. Both desperately looking for a win.
At Leeds, eh?
Yeah. At Ellen Road.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna say a 2-0 to Leeds actually.
No, Forest away, not really rating them. Yeah, I agree. 2-0. Okay. Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think that's it, eh?
Yeah, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. And what are your thoughts on all the VAR decisions? Do you think that they should scrap VAR? Let us know in the comments, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers guys.